Hey y'all, welcome back to HERside Conversations. It feels really good to say that again. Now, if you're new here, welcome. And if you've been rocking with me for a while, thank you for giving me the space to step away, breathe, and come back when it felt right, right? I didn't disappear because something broke. I didn't leave because life fell apart. I took a break because I needed room to see again, y'all. Right? Sometimes we gotta step back. Sometimes you don't need healing. You need clarity. You need silence. You need distance from the noise that slowly became normal. And that's what this episode is about. Coming back with intention, coming back softer, coming back more aware of the life I'm actually building. So today we're talking about vision boards, romanticizing your life, and designing a life that feels good to live in, not just impressive and explain. Okay? Take a breath with me. You're right where you're supposed to be. I want to say this clearly because I think we normalize burnout way too much. You are allowed to pause even when nothing is wrong. Even when nothing is wrong, y'all. I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't falling apart. I wasn't in a crisis. I was just on autopilot. And autopilot, y'all, is sneaky. It doesn't feel bad at first. It feels productive. But eventually, you realize you're doing life instead of experiencing it. I was checking boxes, producing content, showing up, but I wasn't dreaming. And when you stop dreaming, life starts to feel flat, even when it's full. So I stepped back to ask myself, what am I building? What do I actually want my days to feel like? Who am I becoming when nobody's watching? That pause gave me clarity. And I know for y'all, it was a little bit of a long break as we stopped somewhere in between. What was that? Thanksgiving ish, December, Christmas. It was like we took a little Christmas vacation, right? But I needed that time to step back and get clarity about the direction that I was going to be going in. Let me clear something up real quick. Romanticizing your life is not delusion. It's not pretending everything is perfect. It's not aesthetics without substance. Romanticizing your life means paying attention. It's choosing presence over pressure, intention over chaos, care over constant grind. It's lighting the candle even when nobody comes over. It's wearing the outfit for yourself. It's making the coffee slowly instead of rushing through it. It's treating your life like it matters because it does. I used to think joy had to be earned, like life had to reach a certain level before I could enjoy it. But joy doesn't wait. Joy lives in the moment you choose to notice it. Let's get on the topic of vision boards, why they matter more than ever, right? I was late doing my vision board this year, and I didn't even throw my annual vision board party as life has just been so busy. Everything has just been taken off in all areas of my life. So I've just been so busy with so many things that I didn't get a chance to actually do it in a timely fashion, but nevertheless, it still got done. But I just want to remind you of these things here. Vision boards are not childish, they're not trends, they're not magic. Their direction. And when you don't have direction, everything feels heavy. My vision board isn't about money, trips, or titles. It's about how I want to feel, how I want my home to feel, how I want my relationships to feel, how I want to show up for myself. Because if the feeling is wrong, the life will always feel off. I stopped asking, what do I want to achieve? And start asking this, what do I want to experience? That changed everything. And for the ones who know, if you know, you know, last year, that is exactly what my vision board looked like. And if you know, you know. If you head over to TikTok and look at my page, my main page, I checked off practically everything on there, right? Except for a couple. And I think those couple of things are God ordained. I cannot rush into a marriage. I do desire to be a wife, but if I'm not a wife this year, or if I wasn't a wife last year, that means that I still have some room to grow, some work to do, and God is still pruning those areas of my life, okay? But literally, the last 30 days of the calendar year of last year, God surprised me with my vision board. I thought that I was doing decent, but when I actually went and checked in on it physically, the major thing had been knocked off of my vision board, and that was to become debt free. I am debt free. Say that with me. I am debt free. You guys, like, it feels so good, right? A lot of us don't get a chance to experience that part of life. until we're much older, much mature, more financially stable. But God is doing some stuff and He's up to something. So, if you are desiring that part of your life and want to know how I done it with the deets, first and foremost, God did, one. And then two, I can also explain that in more details as we go on. If you want to inbox me, and I can help somebody or any of you ladies, gentlemen, through that process. Now, let me ask you something and answer this honestly, just to yourself though. So, do you like your life or are you just managing it? Ooh. And I know that kind of stings, but like I had to ask myself some of these same things. Here's another one. When's the last time you felt excited about your own days? Like, I mean, really excited to like wake up and conquer every single thing on your list. When's the last time that actually happened? What part of your life feels rushed when it doesn't need to be? We live in a busy life, a busy world, and we're constantly rushing things. But what can you slow down? Ask yourself these things. Answer accordingly, answer honestly. There's no judgment here, not from me. I just want you to be aware because awareness is where change begins. Now, let's do a soft little pause for a second. This is kind of new for us, is to take little intermissions or breaks in between our segments, but sometimes I think that it's necessary. So take a breath, unclench your jaws, drop your shoulders. You're allowed to want a softer life. You're allowed to design your days. You're allowed to enjoy your own company. Just breathe. Just breathe. Okay, I didn't come back louder. I came back clearer. This season isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. And I always tell you guys, stay intentional, stay intentional. And if you stay with me through this episode, I promise by the end of it, you'll feel inspired to romanticize your life in ways that actually stick. All right, if you're still here with me, I love that for us. In the next moments, this is where we slow down even more because vision isn't about rushing to the next thing. It's about seeing clearly where you are now. So, wherever you're listening from, your car, your couch, your bed, your walk, take another breath with me. No pressure, no performance, just present. Now, let's be honest. A lot of vision boards look good, but don't do anything. They're full of things that we think we're supposed to want: big houses, luxury trips, perfect bodies, perfect relationships. And then months go by and nothing changes. Not because vision boards don't work, but because clarity was missing. Here's the truth I had to face. If your vision board doesn't change your daily behavior, it's just decoration. That was a hard realization for me. Again, like I stated before, last year, although I got everything accomplished, minus a couple of things on there, literally, that is exactly how I designed it. God, I want a big house. I want to take trips. I need to be in the gym. I want my relationship to be this. I want to be a wife. I had boards that were beautiful but disconnected from my real life. They reflected aspiration, not alignment. So I asked myself, does this vision reflect who I am now or who I think I should be? Because vision that's too far from your reality feels overwhelming instead of motivating. Now, this is where everything changed for me. I stopped building vision boards around things and started building them around feeling. Instead of, I want this job, I asked, how do I want my work to feel? Hmm. Instead of, I want this relationship, I asked, how do I want to feel in love? Instead of, I want this lifestyle, I asked, how do I want my days to move? And the answers were things like this: calm, safe, inspired, free, grounded, joyful, rested. Those feelings became my compass because if a goal doesn't support the feeling you want, it's not aligned, no matter how good it looks. Let me walk you through how I think about vision boards now, not as pressure, but as guidance. Here's a vision board for your mornings. How do you want to wake up? Rushed or rested? Quiet or chaotic? Connected or distracted? Because how you start your day shapes everything else. Let's try a vision board for your energy, not productivity, but energy? What drains you? What restores you? What deserves more space? You don't need more motivation. You need better boundaries. Let's try a vision board for your relationship with yourself. With yourself. And this one matters the most. How do you talk to yourself? Do you celebrate yourself? Do you trust yourself? Because no vision works if you're constantly at war with yourself. Sometimes the reason vision feels confusing is because you're trying to live out expectations that aren't yours. Family expectations, social expectations, age expectations, timeline expectations. I had to ask myself, if nobody was watching, what would I want? If I wasn't afraid of disappointing anyone, what would I choose? If I trusted myself fully, what would my life look like? And some of the answers surprised me. Vision requires honesty, and honesty requires courage. You can't romanticize a life you don't actually want. Now let's slow this down and make it personal. I want you to answer these not out loud, just internally. What part of my life feels out of alignment? What am I holding on to because it looks good, not because it feels good? Where do I crave more ease? What would it look like to treat my life gently? Your vision doesn't need to impress anyone, it just needs to support you. Romanticizing your life doesn't happen overnight, it happens in moments. Choosing to pause, choosing to enjoy what's already here, choosing to slow down when you could rush, choosing intention over autopilot. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say, I don't need more, I need better. Better rest, better rhythm, better care, better boundaries. That's vision. That's alignment. And girl, that's growth. Your vision doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be honest. And when you start being honest about what you want, your life starts responding differently. Next, we're going to talk about romanticizing your life in real, everyday ways, not trends, not aesthetics, but habits that make life feel richer. Again, guys, this part is new, and I think that I like this so far, right? So, before we go any further, let's slow down again. If you're listening while doing something else, that's okay. If you're lying down, even better. This hour isn't about fixing anything, it's about noticing. Because a lot of us aren't unhappy, we're just disconnected from our own lives. Okay, romanticizing your life gets a bad reputation. People think it means pretending everything is perfect, or forcing gratitude when you're tired, or acting like struggle doesn't exist. That's not what I'm talking about. Romanticizing your life is about intentional presence. It's choosing to see beauty without needing your life to be extraordinary. It's realizing that joy doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers. For me, romanticizing my life looks like drinking my coffee slower, playing music while I clean, sitting in silence without reaching for my phone, letting moments be enough without documenting them. It wasn't about doing more, it was about feeling more. Somewhere along the way, we learn to rush. Rush in the morning, rush the workday, rush the week, rush the year, and before you know it, life feels like something you're surviving instead of experiencing. A lot of women are exhausted, not because they're doing too much, but because they're doing everything without presence. We eat without tasting. We rest without resting. We talk without listening, even to ourselves. Romanticizing your life is a rebellion against that. It's saying, I deserve to enjoy my life while I'm building it. This is one of my favorite shifts. Routines feel mechanical, rituals feel meaningful. The difference isn't what you do, it's how you do it. Let's talk about morning rituals. Instead of rushing into the day, light a candle. Say one intention. Stretch before checking your phone. Not because you have time, but because you deserve gentleness. What about evening rituals? Instead of collapsing into the night, reflect on one good moment. Change into clothes that feel comforting. Let your body know it's safe to rest. Your nervous system needs consistency, not perfection. Let's even do one for solo rituals. Learning to enjoy your own company again is powerful. Dates with yourself. quiet evenings, walking without headphones, journaling without a goal. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to justify peace. This part matters. Romanticizing your life is not about copying someone else's version of joy. What feels good to someone else might feel overwhelming to you. What looks peaceful online might feel empty in real life. Comparison steals intimacy from your own experience. So I stopped asking, does this look good? And I started asking this instead. Does this feel good to me? Your life doesn't need an audience to be meaningful. Now, this one is tender. A lot of women struggle to enjoy joy. We feel like we should be doing more, helping more, fixing something, preparing for the next thing. But joy doesn't mean you're ignoring reality. It means you're honoring yourself inside of it. You're allowed to feel good even when everything isn't resolved. You're allowed to laugh in the middle of healing. You're allowed to enjoy peace without explaining it. Joy is not irresponsible, it's restorative. Let's bring this home. Tonight or tomorrow, I want you to do one thing slowly, do one thing intentionally, do one thing just because it feels good. No productivity attached, no outcome required, just presence. Because the more present you become, the richer your life feels without anything changing on the outside. Now, you don't need a new life to enjoy your life. You need a new relationship with the one you already have. Romanticizing your life is choosing to meet yourself where you are, gently. Next, we're going to talk about identity, becoming, and letting go of who you used to be without grief or guilt. Now, before we begin, I want to name something gently. Becoming isn't loud. It's not always obvious, and it rarely happens on the timeline that we control. Most growth doesn't look like transformation. It looks like subtle shifts, quiet realizations, different reactions, new boundaries that don't need announcing. Next, we are going to be honoring that. There was a season where I kept telling myself I was behind. Behind in life, behind in love, behind in purpose, behind in where I thought I should be by now. And that belief made everything feel heavier. But here's what I've learned. You're not behind. You're becoming. Becoming doesn't follow a straight line. It spirals, it revisits lessons, it slows you down on purpose. Sometimes progress looks like this, not reacting the way you used to. Oh, yeah, not reacting the way you used to. Sometimes, and I honestly feel this, that God or you will have an opportunity to be placed back into a similar situation just to test how much you've grown, how much you have changed. And we're here to win it, right? We are not going to be reacting the same way that we used to. Walking away, it also looks like this. Walking away without explaining. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't need to give people an explanation. Or this one, choosing peace over proving a point. Just walk away. I'm done. That's it. Those moments don't get celebrated enough. Believe me, but they matter. This part right here, guys, is so important. We don't talk enough about grief that comes with growth. Sometimes you miss who you used to be, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes we have those toxic traits that we let go and we grew from, and sometimes, just sometimes, you like, ooh, like I wish, like y'all have no idea. You literally miss who you used to be. Not because she was healthier, but because she didn't know yet. She hoped freely. She trusted easily. She didn't question everything. And instead of shaming her, I've learned to thank her. She got me here. Yes, and I'm talking about me. I got me here. You don't have to hate your past self to outgrow her. You don't have to regret who you were to honor who you are now. Growth doesn't require rejection. It requires release. Now, nobody warns you about this part. Outgrowing people doesn't always come with conflict. Sometimes it comes with silence, distance, different priorities, and that can feel lonely. But sometimes the loneliness isn't loss, it's alignment. You're not being punished, you're being repositioned. And it's okay to grieve connections that no longer fit without forcing yourself to stay small to keep them. Now, we should probably touch on redefining success in this season. Success used to mean achieving more, proving something, being seen. Now, success looks like peace in my body, honesty with myself, choosing rest without guilt, saying no without explanation. Your definition of success is allowed to change. You don't owe anyone the same version of you forever. This is where pressure softens. Everyone's life has a rhythm, and comparison disrupts it. When you rush your process, you miss the lesson. Ooh, let's back up. When you rush the process or your process, you miss the lesson. When you slow down, you hear yourself again. Your rhythm doesn't need to match everyone else's. Your timeline doesn't need approval. Your becoming doesn't need permission. You're allowed to take your time becoming who you're meant to be. Now, I want to invite you to ask yourself, what am I outgrowing right now? What version of me am I gently releasing? Where am I forcing instead of flowing? You don't have to answer immediately, just notice. Awareness is the beginning of change. Now, becoming isn't something you rush through, it's something you live inside of. You're not late. You're not lost. You're not failing. You're unfolding. Now, this one matters. You can want love without chasing it. You can want success without forcing it. You can want more without feeling behind. Desperation says, I need this to be okay. Desire says, I'd love this, but I trust myself either way. That shift changes everything. Some dreams take longer because you're becoming the person who can hold them. Not everything delayed is denied. Some things just require depth. Stop asking, when will it happen? And start asking, who am I becoming while I wait? Now close your eyes if you can. Imagine your life feeling calm, safe, creative, and whole. Not flashy, not impressive, just true. That's your direction. Dream again, but gently. You're not building a highlight reel, you're building a light. Next, and finally, we're going to talk about integration, gratitude, and stepping forward without fear. This season taught me something important. Romanticizing your life isn't about aesthetics, it's about intentional presence. For a long time, I thought romanticizing meant waiting until things look better. More money, more clarity, more answers. But what I've learned is this: your life doesn't start when it's perfect. It starts when you decide to treat it like it matters. Romanticizing my life now looks like creating routines I actually enjoy, protecting my mornings, saying no without guilt, choosing environments that feel safe, speaking kindly to myself, even when I'm not at my best. It's not luxury, it's respect. I still believe in vision boards, but mine look different now. They're not just about what I want, they're about how I want to feel while becoming it. Peace, ease, soft confidence, stability, joy that doesn't depend on chaos. I'm not visualizing hustle anymore. I'm visualizing alignment. Romanticizing your life also means acting like you belong in it, not shrinking, not apologizing, not wanting to be chosen. It means dressing how you want now, enjoying your days without an audience, making ordinary moments meaningful. I'm not postponing joy. I'm practicing it. This is what my return looks like. It's not loud. It's not rushed. It's not proving anything. I'm just being intentional. I'm moving with clarity. I'm building a life I don't need to escape from. I'm choosing depth over dopamine. This is me romanticizing my life, not because it's perfect, but because it's mine. I'm not becoming who I used to pray for. I'm becoming the woman who knows how to live what she once prayed for, slowly, intentionally, and with joy. If this episode did anything, I truly hope it helped you to see that romanticizing your life isn't about pretending. It's about paying attention to how you wake up, to how you speak to yourself, to what drains you, to what restores you. And if this episode did anything, I hope it gave you permission to come back to yourself quietly. No announcements, no pressure, no performance, just presence. Take what you need from this episode, leave what doesn't fit, and trust that becoming doesn't require rushing. This is HERside Conversations. I'm Marketia, and this was your reminder that your life is already worthy of care, joy, and intention right where you are. See you guys next week.